Yeah, pretty good. I don't know, somehow it asked me to start the webinar or something. I don't know.
I I think I made you a host when I left. So now yeah, that's fine. Let's see. I'm not seeing Dennis on the attendee list.
Let's see.
From him.
So I'm trying to text him, I guess.
Okay.
Well, while we're waiting, Danielle, did you see my note I sent that I'm not going to be able to make it to the commission meeting tomorrow?
I did see that.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. Where are you headed?
Yeah. Um, to actually to Las Vegas for a few days. He says, I see you, but login issue is what Dennis says.
Oh, there he is. Okay, moving him over. There he is.
Okay.
Hi, Dennis.
Okay.
Anyway, it's my husband's birthday and we're taking a quick trip.
I don't know why I'm not showing up. I'm trying to get my camera going. I'm on my pad because the camera's not
There
working.
you are.
Yeah.
I can see
Camera's
you
not
now.
working on my computer. And then I tried to log in on my wife's and blah, 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 blah. So I am
Couldn't
here
see you.
now on my pad, promoted to panelist. So anyway, so, so we are here, and
Here we are.
I sent out a little blurb before. The main things we need to kind of talk about are one, the timing and kind of finalizing content around social media posts. We thought we were ready last month and then realized we were ahead of appropriate timelines for a commission process. Danielle, but I'm going to just do the list and then I'll come back to that. So we've got a couple of upcoming neighborhood presentations we can talk a little bit about. Tabling Earth Day, summer tabling, and beginning to think about other events, tabling events, both the who and what content we would want to share at those kind of tabling events. So any other things that people want to get on the table, virtual table today?
That all sounds good to me.
Okie doke. So, Danielle, you made some comments before and help us clarify where we're at in terms of the timing and a suggestion about not coming up this meeting because we have a bunch of stuff to do of what it is we need to get the social media post before the full commission for approval. Could you clarify that for us, Danielle?
Yeah, I think it just needs to be reviewed by the chair, vice chair, and staff before it goes to the packet. And so I think if you get it, what did I say last meeting? Let me pull up the minutes.
Yeah, you said something in an email later. We were ready to go with it the next day.
Well, I think it just needs a little more development. I'm still a little unclear, what's the process, I think it would be helpful for the committee to get it all written down. When do commissioners sign up for their slot to get the highlight? What do they need to submit to staff? What do I like? When do I post it? Like, I think just getting all of those details written down would help clarify like what exactly is the process for how this is going to roll out. And then hold on, Chloe. And then in terms of getting it on in front of the commission, it needs to go in the packet. In order to put it in the packet, I need to get it a week before the meeting, but it'd be good if the chair and vice chair can review it, you know, before that date. So I'd
Okay.
say like
2
Right.
weeks before.
2 weeks
Okay,
before
yeah,
would be ideal.
here was, here's my thoughts on where we talked about, sort of informally around the edges last time. I think people could be, volunteer at a prior meeting to be the commissioner who welcomes people the next meeting.
Write this down. Someone should write this down, I
Okay.
think. Just because
Right.
this is what would go in the packet too. Like this will
Okay.
clarify the questions that might come up.
So at meeting, commissioner volunteers to be the highlight for the next meeting.
Right. And we were looking at, kind of using a standard script. And Lily, you got us pretty close to a standard script last time when you were, just doing it at the moment. So my process suggestion in terms of content would simply ask Lily if you could forward the content you proposed to Danielle for a staff review. And I don't know what else we need to do about the content.
Well, so I'm just unclear, like, still what content does the commissioner submit? Do they say like what their interests are, why they're on the commission, or what their interest is in the topic that's coming up?
Oh, that's true. Well, the one we'd proposed was a general one that would be, for example, hi, my name is Dennis Reynolds. I'm a member of the Sustainability Commission. I've been serving on the commission for blah, blah, blah. And I want to invite you to our upcoming meeting, and then share, a highlight from the agenda. This meeting will include a presentation from, Parks Department. You can log in via city website, and that's standard with just one plug-in for an agenda item from the upcoming meeting. I think would be the way to keep it really simple, and a pretty simple script. What other people think? John, you do more public stuff than the rest of us, so.
Sounds good. Can that verbiage and what Lily wrote last time get put into a Google Doc or something so that we can all see it?
Yeah.
You mean the flyer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been working on it through Canva, and I sent it through email a while ago, and that link should take anyone who wants to see it, but I'll send it again in the chat right now. So if you click on it, you should be able to see the flyer.
Okay. So this has really just a brief reference to whatever the agenda topic is, not anything necessarily personal about a person. And we're doing this just as a graphic. We're not talking about video, right? So there probably isn't really much room for more content, for like to say, I'm so-and-so and I've been on the commission XYZ, or here's what I care about. It's just pretty much of it. Is it room for one sentence maybe, or maybe two, the most?
Right. Well, and maybe in that same timeline about the meeting before, we asked who would like to do it next time. What quote would you like to have listed in your behalf?
Well, and what is the prompt for the quote? Is it like, okay, say Dennis, you're going, okay, next month we're hearing about compact development and MUPD. Like, write a quote about that and why that matters to you, or write a quote about why you're on the commission separate from that? I'm just unclear, what is the prompt given about this quote?
My sense would be either why you serve on the commission, what empowers you. I think it's just that my sense of it is just to get people to see a variety of different faces on social media of different commissioners. Because there's nothing more there than that little quote and a photo.
Mhm.
So my thought is, let's just keep it simple.
Yeah. I can see that. Right. So after that, if we stick with this outline, it does talk, it will have a bullet point about what the agenda item is. So I think that makes
Mhm.
sense. We could say that
Yeah.
the commissioner who is going to do it could either offer a sentence about themselves or the commission, or a sentence about the agenda item, either one, and that would be okay. As long as we have a bullet that mentions what the agenda item is, so.
Mhm.
Okay.
Seems to me, anywho.
Now, what's the timing? Now, my understanding, if we're pretty clear on what we want it to be, then it would be included as a proposal for the April meeting, correct?
Right. And the April meeting is on the 16th. So if, in order to get it in the packet, we need it the week before, and to get it to, so really we need to send something to Danielle and Devin and Mitra the week of April 1st, somewhere in the middle of that week. So there's two weeks time before the packet goes out.
Well, I think we could just have a brief narrative attached to this, mock-up, and we're ready to go.
Mhm.
I don't know
Wait,
that
can we talk a little more about this second page too? So is the second page something that would go with it on the social media post?
That's my understanding, yeah.
Second page.
Yeah, the page 2 on the piece that Lily just sent us, so.
Yeah, it doesn't have a meeting date on it, does it? That one should be in there.
Right. And that would be within this month on.
Right.
Well, the
March
top line,
14th.
yeah, Lily
Oh, yeah.
just had
Oh, yeah, there it
the
is.
top
Yep,
line,
yep.
it's there.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep.
It's right under that bold line.
Right.
So basically, we'd want a brief narrative, on the process, and I can certainly do that. And then, Danielle, you said something before that city media folks may need to take a look at what we're proposing to post on city social media accounts. Is that true?
Yes. So this is this would go on the city's Facebook page, which is managed by our communications director. So I'll have her review it as part of like the staff review. When you submit it to me, Devin and Mitra, I'll make sure I get the check boxes of approval from the people that I need to before it goes to the commission packet.
Okay. Like I said, I'm working off my usual device, so I'm wondering process-wise, Danielle, can I just send you a narrative and then you could link it to this document as our mock-up? And then that could go to Devin and Mitra, and then we've done that step.
Yeah.
Because I'll try to do that later today, just so it's rolling. I don't have to think about
Okay.
when I'm going to get back to it later, which is a better way for me to work, to just do it. I'm not quite as quick as Lily, but few of us
Yeah.
are.
Do the other folks, it might be good to have everyone on this committee, like, why don't you create a Google Doc and send it around this committee for everyone to chime in on before you send it to me and Mitra and stuff. And Devin.
Yeah, I'll send it in some draft version, whether or not I do a Google Docs or
whatever.
another version that I'll send it to be. Okay, so I'll draft something, send a committee, And pending any suggested significant changes, that will then go to Mitra and Devin very soon. Okay.
And the only
Here,
question I have is, can you link directly to the Sustainability Commission meeting, or do you have to go to eugene.gov and
No,
then look for it?
there's a link from the commission website, and I imagine we could put that link on
Yeah.
this, you know,
Right,
on
as
this.
opposed to eugene.gov.
Yeah, that
Right.
would be good.
Okay.
Right, and so we would want to have the link, you know, in that part that that Danielle is highlighting right now. So that would be a spot for the regular link. I mean, the link to log into that particular meeting. Okay. And the Facebook page, and Lily, you talked about some other social media things that you were aware of that the city did.
Yeah, I was thinking the Facebook and Instagram pages.
Right, that was what I was trying, yeah.
yeah, we have, you know, I'll look into that. I know we have a few different Instagram pages. I have a feeling they're more like program specific, like Parks and Open Space has an Instagram, Waste Prevention Team has an Instagram, but I'll look into that. We also have X, which is the new Twitter. So which is a more citywide channel. So I'll look into which different platforms this would make sense on. That'll be a conversation I have with the communications director.
Right, because we want to get it out there as broadly as possible. Cool. Anything more about that? Okay.
Despite my limited time spent on social media, my understanding is that once a month would be a pretty rare posting. I mean, once a week, can there be something, you know, once, at least once it's the meeting and then the topic, or could there be 3 things that lead up to what the meeting is that give you different ways of being interested in it, whether you're looking for compost or looking to get rid of your stuff or wondering what your neighbor could do besides throw it on the street or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of brainstorming that, but once a month isn't going to get many looks.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like what other content could be developed so this becomes more of like a campaign?
Right. And it could easily be all 4 posts of the month could be about and trying to drum up interest for attending or commenting at a meeting in different ways. Do you live in an apartment and wish you could compost? Join our meeting at the Sustainability Commission and have some input and hear what's happening. Or, you know, if you want to compost in the backyard and don't want to put it in the bin, or something of that sort. I'm just throwing that out there. But yes, it requires somebody to do something once a week.
My sense of it and understanding from our prior conversations is let's try something simple first.
Yeah.
You know, and then if there's interest in it, it may become part of a work plan to develop a more comprehensive and engaged social media, you know, presence.
Sure.
Might be the primary focus of this committee looking ahead to next year. Other people's thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that it would be preferable to have more frequent posts than once a month, but we're just getting started with this, and it would require somebody to be generating that content and as well as posting it. So we'd have to, you know, figure out how that would happen. So probably best to just get started with something and then.
Sure.
So we'll call it a pilot program, right? So
Danielle, who's joined us.
This is Chloe. She's been
Hi,
home
Chloe.
sick.
Oh,
Are you sick?
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for this to just be a pilot. I think and I think it's hard to create a
No, there's eyes.
I know. It's hard to create a template because too much of a template because each topic is fairly different. Like compost, like that's not actually been a topic that has come to the commission this year. The topic that came was the IMERF, the CLARF. So, I mean, I guess tangentially, obviously that's about diverting organic waste, but you know, they're like, how do you make it's a little bit more of work, I think, to make the connection between the topic, like next month tomorrow, for example, it's MUPD and compact development. I think it just like, there's just a little more work that needs to be done to like make that link to what would be the average person's
Look,
like hook for them.
right.
Not that there isn't one. I mean, there obviously could be one and there is one, but like, what is the call to action?
Right.
Is it just
Take some thought. Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's one. But is there a more specific call to action related to like choose to live in an apartment or build an ADU in your backyard or whatever it is? Like, what is the call to action?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And I think if we have some lead time like we do on what topics are coming up sometime out, we could spend a little bit of time, or the committee, because next year I won't be on the commission, could say, just come up with a phrase like that one, for example, sprawl versus density. Is this, are these issues you struggle with? This will be on the commission. We'll see a presentation. That's just an example of something that could happen mid-month, and then this standard one happens, shorter time period before it. So since we put together a list of what most of the presentations are, just coming up with those kind of phrases, I think could easily be done beforehand. But we've got a pilot for the next few months. We'll see if, it gets any hits or whether it's shared or, whether it has any impact, and then look at what next steps are is where I think we're at. Any other thoughts on this one?
No, I think this sounds good. I think this could also fold in, I'm excited for this to launch. I'm excited. I'm curious to see if other commissioners are eager to participate and like, if that's an easy enough process. And I think if it is, like, this could be a way for like to dovetail and leverage the communications that our program does, like maybe instead of maybe the commission itself is just responsible for that one post doing the commission highlight, but maybe my program, our program sort of fills in some of those tags on some of those other like posts throughout the month, just like, since that topic is coming to the commission, let's focus on that issue for the month. And like, how does it show up in our CAP 2.0? What are some programs that exist that the public might be interested in? Like, there could be ways for the program to build off of it.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, a social media presence for sustainable Eugene, of which the commission is a part, and then staff are engaged as well. So I like it. Well, we're going to run a pilot over the next few months. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what we've got coming up, just to update you folks, I'm still waiting to hear a confirmation from Laurel Hill Valley neighbors about neighborhood presentations of the PowerPoint. Laurel Hill tentatively May. They also invited something for their April-May newsletter. If we didn't fit on their agenda, I've asked for both, so that all neighbors, whether or not they go to the meeting, are aware of the commission. We're scheduled for April 1st with South Eugene neighbors.
April 1st?
April 1st.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in communication with Colin Hill, who's on their board. And Devin's their past board chair, which is why we're in there. So
Yeah.
Devin's continuing shadow in the neighborhood association. So we've got those coming up. I'm certainly willing to do both of those. Laurel Hill is my neighborhood, and I've been working with Colin, who works at our church. So that's pretty straightforward. I can work out with Danielle. We found the easiest way to do that is if the presentation is sent to whoever's doing tech at the neighborhood meeting. Devin struggled with trying to link in from her computer to other people's stuff. It'll just have, we can get that sent to them beforehand. So that's pretty straightforward. And we have a number of opportunities coming up for tabling. Earth Day is the one
Wait,
that's
let
coming.
me pause.
Go
What
ahead.
times, can you say the dates and times again?
I haven't got a confirmation for the May meeting for Laurel Hill neighbors. There typically it would be the same evening as the May commission meeting. So if I do it, I would log in the commission and leave early and then do the presentation at my neighborhood association. And April 1st, 7 p.m. Is when it's scheduled.
So I talked with Ian about this. We're gonna try, I know that there was tech issues last time. And I think just because of the nature of, you don't know what questions you're gonna get and might not be able to answer. I think we're gonna try to send a staff just to also be able to be on backup. So,
Okay, I'm open to that. Yeah, Jefferson, it worked very well technically with the Jefferson West Side neighbors, but that's we simply sent them the presentation beforehand and they had it. And that was the simplest way to do it. So, but yeah, I'm certainly glad to hang out with any of you folks at those.
Yeah, I might be interested to attend as well.
But the May one at Laurel Hill is probably the same date. They typically do second Wednesdays as a commission meeting. So it may be a conflict and it may just be me. So.
okay. I can also print out the speaker notes for you. That way, that you're not dependent on tech for that either.
Right. Yeah, I just ended up, they projected it and I, read off my pad. So either way.
Okay.
And I do that on Sunday mornings. I use my pad, where it looks like I've got a holy book and it's just a pad. Anyway, so then we've got the tabling events we have coming up is the most timely one is Earth Day tabling. And then summer tabling, we got an invite from Bethel. Last year, I imagined we would be welcome back at Jefferson West Side, Far West, South University, and South Eugene again. So we can reach out to those neighborhoods and confirm. We didn't get any takers before on any of the other ones. And any other events we might want to have a presence at. And what I'm wondering, and Danielle, you might have a sense of, are there events where city staff, PR staff would be tabling anyway, and we might get an end of a table rather than tabling on our own. So that would open up a whole other bunch of events the city's present at. I'm involved with an Interfaith Earth Keepers group, and we tabled at the Winona Leduc gathering. There are other opportunities to table. We're going to be, present as part of a table, that group at Pride. So are there other things people think we should attempt to have a table or a presence at beyond the neighborhoods and the upcoming Earth Day event?
I'm kind of thinking about those summer community events, but that's a bit in the future.
Yeah.
Well, the summer community events, it's still going to be, I don't know if we want to try to have our presence or we might want to work in cooperation with city outreach staff anyway, who are already going to be there, so. I mean, the Jefferson West Side, for example, we were handing out the, organic compost stickers, and so was a staff table, like 2 tables away from us. So.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I know that the waste prevention team and the active transportation team, they both do quite a bit. Their programs do quite a bit of tabling. And both those topics relate to sustainability. So, maybe I'll check in with those staff and see if there's
Hello, Bob.
interest in having the commission, you know, have a section of the table or something.
Or we
Okay.
we can certainly bring another table too, but it's just, I do think there's some synergy when you've got more than one thing going on. That's nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it gives the sustainability commission, like it gives you guys like a topic or theme to kind of be your anchor
Yeah.
too, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So
So let's move to the one we know is coming the soonest. And part of that could play into other tabling events, which is the, who, being we intend to ask commissioners this meeting who has interest at tabling at events and get a list of potential tablers. Is that a word? Tablers? I guess it is now. And then that's the who, but the what is, what do we do there? Jan, you shared with us the proposal that you put out there on our behalf for the Earth Day event. And they want some kind of a game or something for people to do. Lily, did I recall you said you had a spin the wheel kind of thing?
Well, Danielle was saying,
Yeah.
I know that we used to have one at the city, but that's been quite a while ago. Danielle was going to check into that. Would be the kind of thing where we'd need to sort of dream up some questions or a quiz or something like that and let people spin the wheel.
And then hopefully not hand them a piece of plastic that they'll throw away in 3 days.
Unfortunately, it may be a sticker that we hope they might put on their car window or their bike bumper or whatever. So
Stickers stick around for a while.
Yeah.
right, sticker stick. So,
I had a
Yeah,
general
no.
question that I think goes towards Danielle. If another place that I know they're often looking for information is like Rotary clubs and that sort of thing. Would somebody from the city, though, always have to be part of a Rotary Club presentation? And if so, the city, which is you and Ian, might get tired of doing those things with all the other duties you have. So is that something that should be explored, or is that too much to get into the plate?
yeah, I think Ian and I would prefer to be there. I think what our capacity is we could probably one of us could probably commit to being there like every other month. So if you guys, it seems like that it's like you guys haven't really surpassed that frequency.
All right.
I think there's been maybe 3 meetings at all done. So I think, yeah, I mean, I think if it became more frequent than that, we might have to pull back a little bit, but I think we could probably commit to every other month, every 3 months.
right. So 5 or 6 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good notion. I mean, I put out to Interfaith Earth Keepers, inviting congregations to, I'll come do the PowerPoint, doesn't need to be a big crowd because that's pretty simple and straightforward. And I didn't get any takers. So the faith communities weren't ready to go there. So.
And is it just me not seeing it? Is there a link to the PowerPoint? I'd be interested in seeing it.
Yeah, Danielle sent it out.
Okay, I'll look through. I got an occasional email from Danielle.
Yeah. Yeah, and people did good work. And Danielle, just a quick review to make sure it's not hopelessly out of date and how many of the, CAP 2.0 things have been solved, been addressed. Those numbers, I'm sure, are going up, somewhat. So anyway, okay. Beyond presentations, moving back to tabling. Who
Yeah.
we're just going to ask. I'm assuming most of this group, I mean, we can do a partial poll. Who from this group is open to tabling? By the time the tabling events come up, I'm no longer a commissioner. I'll come by and say hi to you. So
You could still help with tabling events. That we wouldn't keep you from doing that.
I could be a path as a former commissioner. Then
Right.
I can express my opinion without having to worry about whether or not I'm
That's right.
appropriately representing the city of Eugene's perspective.
That's right.
So
So I will definitely help with tabling. Like I said, I'm actually working on a different tabling presentation for the Earth Day, so I'm not, may or may not be able to help at the event for this thing.
Yeah, Earth
But-
Day, I'm still on because I'm still on the commission, but when we
Great.
get into the summer events, I'm not available, so.
But I am happy to do the other, some of the others.
Okay, John, and who else is interested in tabling?
I am.
Tom's hand.
Yep.
Tom, Lily, does it depend on your schedule?
No. Oh,
Wait, sorry. what?
Lily, are you generally interested in tabling depending on schedule?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and Tom as well. So, I mean, we've got, a cadre already, and then we'll see other commissioners. Laura tabled with Jan a
Mhm.
couple of events last
Yeah.
year, and I think she kind of likes it. I kind of like it, so. So that's some of the who, and then what? So where are we on a game format? The very first time we did it at South Eugene Neighbors was our most pilot program of tabling. We had a simple little do you know? No, that was a different tabling event. Never mind. But there are simple games where people just have an answer behind it. And if they get 3 things correct, they win a sticker, kind of a thing, and our appreciation. But there's also, Jan, you lifted up the wheel notion. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's just something that attracts kids, it's just anything, and it's got just, so Danielle, you haven't had a chance to see if that thing is still around, or there's an option like that.
There is one.
There
It's in the
is.
basement of the atrium and we can use it.
Okay, well, cool. So we could drag that out and look at how many, they've got like little pie shaped pieces that you can make a question and then have an answer or something like that. Or, a bunch of different ways we could set it up, but somebody has to put a little thought into what those questions would be and get them laid out on a piece of paper the right way. You probably need some graphics help with that, but it's pretty easy to do. Just gotta, we'd have to probably, I mean, I don't think we could do it like right now off the top of our head. So somebody have to have a couple people spend a little time trying to think up what some good items or questions would be.
So
Do we get a
what,
picture of it? If
That'd be
you
good.
see it, Daniel, if you get a picture of it, then we know how many.
Danielle,
questions
could
we're
you
looking
take
for.
a shot of it and send it to us?
so who wants to be on a brainstorm the wheel follow-up call?
I will.
I'm
I can do
game.
that.
Okay. Jan, John, and I will do a follow-up, or at least an email conversation.
I think I'd love to get, I don't know if it works, but maybe a second chance. Devin and Mitron, and they both have some kind of creative ideas and a lot of information too.
Yeah, I'll put out an email about, who's interested in helping us do that. Well, we can just talk, we can bring it up as part of our
Mhm.
report tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's in the basement of the atrium, could it come
Yeah.
to the meeting tomorrow? Or
Oh,
is that too
there's an
much
idea.
to do?
it would be
Let
inspirational.
me look into that. I'm not going to promise it, but I'll see if I
Understood.
can pull it
How
out. I don't
deep-
exactly know where it is. So,
How-
but that basement is kind of a maze of
How
blocks
deep
and
in the
keys, but
basement? Yeah.
All right.
yeah. I'll need to find it at some point. Are you guys planning to do this for the Earth Day event?
Yeah, because
That's
the
what we're
Earth
talking
Day,
about.
the
Okay.
Earth Day event specifically asks for an activity that we're doing as something, and we don't just have, brochures and flyers and things out on the table. And we did, simple survey last year at those other events, but they've specifically asked for a thing for people to do. So we'll need that for the Earth Day event.
What kind of questions would you guys think? Do you compost meat bones or not? Like those types of questions, or more like,
Might be.
okay,
I-
TBD.
I have a notion of we might put it into different categories of sustainability, composting, housing, transportation, and then we have a few questions prepared
For
in
each
each
one.
of those categories. And if you hit the green, if you hit the blue one, it says, "Oh, air quality. We have a question for you about air quality." And then we ask the question. That's one concept but we talked about, getting together a smaller group to plan that further, but that's one idea. But if we just had categories, I mean, my thought was it emphasizes visually the variety of categories that are part of sustainability.
Yeah.
Transportation, waste management, air quality, water quality. I mean, we can just generate a list and spin the circle into those little categories. And then you get a question from one of those categories, depending on where your wheel spins. And we'll give lots of second chances or even third chances.
Yeah, right. It really doesn't matter.
You want to
People
spin
get-
again.
Right.
So.
I like the idea that just to have introducing color in some way or another. If you want to use it as categories, that's great. But making it
Right.
colorful.
Right. Then we don't have to have the questions on the wheel. We can just have a list of questions in each category. But like we said, so we can talk some more about
Right,
that.
right. Yeah, that's a great idea.
In fact, I propose if people are willing to linger a little bit tomorrow, we can kind of begin to talk about it. So before we head to the door after the meeting tomorrow.
It's a good idea.
Or the basement.
Right, or head for the basement. Anyway, so.
And then
okay.
wait, on that note, what's the prize?
Well, you've had stickers before, and
I know we need to order more of those. We're all out.
Okay.
But it's still a month away, right? I could probably.
It is a month away. Pencils, sometimes, I mean, things like that. We had City of Eugene pencils. We had, I don't know.
I think at this point, stickers will probably be the easiest because it's something we already have designed. Our program has designed.
Right.
So let's go with that. I do have 10 compost buckets sitting in my office, but I only have 10 of them. So
you go
maybe
through a lot of food waste.
I know. Well, so but they're to give away.
Oh,
so but there's only 10, so it'd have to be like
grand prize.
you spin the $1 million question, then you get the bucket.
Or
The
if
other
you.
thing is, I know that waste prevention is going to be at this event, at the Earth Day event, so they might be handing these out too. So maybe I'll talk to them and see, like, maybe we should just.
Otherwise, if someone gets the first 10 people who get one from each category right, get a compost bucket, right? So
that's true. Yeah, or it could be like even more conversational, like, do you need one? Like.
I hear you.
I know I have like a nice stainless steel one. I wouldn't necessarily need a new one, but.
No. Yeah, I've still got the old green one. I've got a nice stainless steel, and the old green one lingers around the back porch. I'm quite sure what to do with it. But anyway, okay. So we've got some notions for the Earth Day presentation. We've got a small group. Me and Jen and John are going to talk about.
Tom had his hand up too.
Tom.
And I actually won't be there tomorrow.
Okay.
So go ahead and get started talking, and then hook me in later.
And if we're lucky.
I just wanted to say that I think, as my understanding, that the entry includes a table, an 8-foot table, and 2 chairs, and we're supposed to bring our own table cover.
Right, Danielle, you had a tablecloth in the tabling materials before, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I get that all back from you, Dennis? I need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a whole bag of stuff back to you. I hope it didn't go to the basement.
I'll have to look. Hopefully it's in my office somewhere, but
because it was the the flowchart stand that we put stuff on, and all of that stuff.
Yeah, the dot survey.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna draft, so I don't know that we've got much other topics to put
That-
out there at this
Is that
point.
pretty much it?
Yeah, I'm gonna draft a narrative and send it by this group. And then it'll go to Mitra
Describing
and
the
Devin
process.
about our pilot program for social media. And we're gonna touch base, some of us, at the end of the meeting tomorrow to begin to talk about the Earth Day event. And then we'll do a follow-up to kind of firm up how we're going to get the wheel ready to spin. So who's actually going to put the colored paper on it or whatever, and the timing of that and getting it from Danielle and those logistics. So, but like I said, we've got a month to work that out. So do other folks have things you want to put out there? No, go ahead, Jen. You started this something.
Oh, it wasn't me. That was Danielle. I think.
Okay.
It looks like we have, for some reason, I still have on my calendar that this committee is meeting April 1st. I think that was like possibly a mistake, but it's still on my calendar. Do you guys want to book that time to create like the questions and stuff and the spin the wheel?
Let me double check calendar because I think I just committed to something else on the first.
Oh, the
Oh,
neighborhood
no,
association.
April 1st is South Eugene Neighborhood Association.
But that's in the
Okay.
evening, right?
Would that be too much?
We could still, what time did we have a meeting at 4?
4 to 5, and it sounds like Southeast Neighbors is at 7, but
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, let's do that, and rather than try to schedule another meeting to, finalize planning for the Earth Day event, let's just do it on that time.
Okay.
It doesn't leave much time to
Yeah, well, let's see
actually
where we
produce
get
it. So
on starting the brainstorming.
yeah, I mean,
on the way out the door tomorrow.
because if we actually need to get some pages printed and
Yeah,
cut
I hear
and
you.
whatever, I need somebody's help to do that.
Go.
But
Well, the event's the 20th, right?
No, I
No,
think
the
it's the
13th.
12th. 13th. It's the 13th.
Okay.
Not on Earth Day.
Yeah.
I think
No, it's not. Yeah,
we have
Earth
a
Day
few
is
more minutes.
later,
I
but
think it would be good too to think about because I think what's been really valuable for this committee to council has been, hold on, that goes right there. It's been valuable for council for this committee to do, to get feedback from the community.
Right.
I think that's the value that you bring. And so
right.
as well as getting information out to the public, it's a two-way street. So instead of just I think we should try to think of ways of how can we get feedback from people, and what are specific things we want them to know about programs or behavior changes or things like that. So it could be did you know, or however this could become a quiz question, but LTD expanded routes, or we have the Love Food Not Waste program, or there's this new incentive for developers to there's a new ADU program to get more people to build ADUs. We should try to think about the topics we want to educate people about and the type of things we want to get feedback on.
Right. Well, and that was the intent of the DOT survey, and Jan did a better job than I did of getting actual anecdotal kind of notes about the conversation. So that's part of tabling. And I'll go ahead and get that smaller brainstorming group to, begin some ideas around that as well.
Okay.
I'll put out a note to folks seeing about scheduling.
I think that's a really good point. We
How
could
many
even
of
have
us-
a little half-page survey of something if we wanted, because this will be probably the most people will interact with at any of these other tabling
Right, absolutely.
events,
'Cause
don't you suppose? So try to take
Yeah.
advantage of that. I think is a good idea.
Danielle, process question to you. How many of us have to be in the room before it has to be posted as a public meeting? Can a few of us have an
it's
informal
6.
planning conversation? I know the co-chairs do, without it being a public meeting
Yeah.
that you have to post.
It has to be under 6 commissioners.
Okay, so we're 5 of us here. We're good. This one wouldn't have
Even
had
if-
to.
Even if we're not making any decisions, we're just like doing some event planning.
Right, it's an event planning meeting. Okay, so we
Yeah, no
don't need to
decisions
post
can
it.
be made, and I'll double check that, but I think it'll be fine if it's just 3 or 4 of you guys.
Right.
The other part I'm feeling a little like nervous though about too in terms of the bylaws is like there's not going to be time to approve the list of questions and stuff or survey you develop with run that by the commission.
I wonder if we can sort of meet that by asking tomorrow, just briefly, what are the questions commissioners would suggest we want to focus on?
Well, and at
Then
some
we
point,
have commission input.
at some point, we'd have to have that list of the questions finalized, and we could just send it out and say, do you have anybody have any problem with any of this?
Yeah, technically you can't do vote by email.
Right.
But I mean, I know I don't like that rule. This is the part about the commission that gets tricky.
No.
Well, I get it when we're talking about making a decision about like a recommendation or something, that's of substance, but it seems like it gets a little bit overwrought when
Yeah.
we're just
And
talking
I
about
wonder-
something like this.
I wonder if we ask.
I mean, if we
at the
choose this
meeting-
question versus that question, it's not going to make any difference to anybody really, right? I'm sorry, Dennis, what did you say?
No, like I said, if we just bring it up and invite commissioners to offer questions that would be included on this basic proposal of a wheel with categories, what are questions commissioners feel should be asked as examples? Then we solicit input and we ask for authority for a few of us to finalize the details.
Hopefully that
Yeah.
would be okay. Similar to what we've done with some letters and things.
Right.
Get conceptual approval and then,
Yeah, we've circulated drafts of letters and stuff, so, yeah. Okay,
But what I'm hearing is it can't be done by Earth Day, which is too bad.
we can't get full approval.
Right. We can't do the normal
Unless we
channel.
wanted to stay on this call, into the evening and finalize a plan. But we can get some input from commission and ask for commission support for us to finalize details for tabling at that event. And we have some concepts to share with them. Okay. Yeah, this is part of I told Danielle what the trade-off of when I, by indecision, didn't re-up. This morning, I talked to the U of O trustees and I made very clear though that I am a commissioner. I was speaking as part of Interfaith Earthkeepers and as a U of O alum. So I made clear what hat I was wearing there. So, which was quite exciting, the level of, energy from the student activists who are working on this fossil-free U of O proposal is inspiring. So it was grand.
that's good.
Yeah, so. Okie doke. I don't think we've got any more for today, and I will see most of you tomorrow. Jan, have a wonderful trip, and
Thank you.
I'll pitch you later about the Interfaith Earth Fund as an alternative carbon offset program, but that's off the record. So.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, so
All
quick
right.
question. Did we decide we are meeting on the 1st or?
Let's leave it on the calendar, and
Okay.
it may be simply, there's something to report back from our small working group to say we don't need to meet on the 1st. But let's put it out there as a proposed meeting would be my suggestion. Does that work for others?
Yeah.
Like 4 o'clock again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and I can also just go ahead and public post it. That way we're not
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
there's no reason not to.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Lily.
everybody. Bye, Lily.
Lily just said on chat she had to
Yeah.
have off to another
Yeah.
meeting, and the rest of us are gonna get on to our evenings. And I'll go pull a few more weeds while it's still perfect weed pulling weather, you know?
Amen.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
kids.
you.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. There we